Okay. Good morning, everybody. Welcome.
My kids were
Mine just
on.
went all purple though. Mine all changed because I think I had an update. My whole
Oh, I
back-
had an update.
My background screen is all purple instead of pink.
Okay.
Hey, Skip,
And
you
I
can
have a
hide behind your
CMA
monitor.
too. So I have a really easy CMA if you need one.
There.
Oh, that I can work on today.
Okay,
Work on that.
we're ready to go. Welcome, Robyn, our official expert on CMA generation and maintenance on the WFRMLS app.
So, hi,
Welcome.
so Joanne's making copies of the appraisals that John has provided,
And Joel.
and Joel, John and Joel.
John and Joel.
There's two sets.
Oh, okay. So there's three different appraisals here. And
This is a party.
do you want to
Okay, so.
take,
So
so
you take one of each.
or
of
one
these
of,
things?
yeah, one of
Dennis?
each.
Hi.
Hi, Dennis. And then this will show, this will give us an idea of what kind of
Is
adjustments
that what we're supposed to do?
appraisers
You
are
wanna
currently
pass that down? I'll
making
just keep
that
it.
we can then plug in to ours.
Do you think this is right?
But I'm gonna have to have somebody
Oh, wait. I'm
do.
on-
With the different properties, but.
Am I?
Okay.
Are we supposed to be taking one of each?
Well, no, just what,
No,
that was,
It's the same number. It's all this, it's the same number.
no.
I have,
No, there's three different appraisals.
146.
Oh, so
there's
she-
three
right,
different
so-
appraisals. Here's the next,
So we'll share it. We'll share. it.
here's the next one.
Oh, crap. Give those back. Dang it, dang it, dang it. Oh, dang, this is gonna be a mess.
But before,
Okay, so I have this. Okay. Oh, no. I have two different ones. One that's 0146
Darlene.
and one that's
Hazel.
5033.
so you should have one 17,
You should have three packets when you're done.
okay, 1764. 2689 and 10
So you
10807.
split them up, so they
Yes.
could have been passed out. right?
Yes,
Okay, this
yes,
is-
that's why they were.
And I thought,
Here, Brian, here's the two.
okay, sorry.
Okay,
You need it, right? One.
Need it?
So those are all going to be.
Yeah, that's 1, 2, 24.
So Cedar Hills, there's a Cedar Hills
I
one.
have the 2689 and the 1764, what Steve, they're.
Okay, look at the, look at the.
Is We there, don't have it yet. This is. a Cedar-
10807.
We don't have that one yet.
Okay, I'm waiting for one.
Okay, this one. And then
All
this
right,
one,
I only,
Cedar Hills.
she only had me do 5, so I may need to do more.
So
Well,
one,
we can share.
1,
We
2,
can
3.
share, we'll figure it out.
Okay, and then
I'm
we'll, and then
sorry.
we can email these so you guys can reference
So
them
this
Okay,
one
later,
so one back then.
I guess.
So
Okay.
Robyn needs all three. so she
Yeah,
can-
she's got all 3.
Well, but somebody is going to have to maybe do a little bit of math because I did not
You want me to do
necessarily review, no, that's okay. And that would be another reason. Okay, does everybody know Joanne?
1080.
Does Joanne know everything? Does everybody?
We're just trying to get them
Oh,
filling.
You know.
I got page 1, I got page.
I know I'm better.
2.
But I
Joy,
don't know,
Joy,
that's
Joy.
Joy.
Four
Okay.
and
and
three.
Joy.
Page 1 and 2 of the.
Okay, and the mic, da.
So you got 4 and 13.
Okay.
Yeah.
Joy, okay.
4 and
Yeah.
13.
You know Dennis.
Yes.
Dennis.
Yes,
Good that
I
you're
met
here.
Dennis.
4 and
4 and
I don't know.
13.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay, we need 2,
Okay.
4 and
2,
13.
4 and 13.
okay,
Is that 2, 4 and 13?
And then we
Thank
have
you.
2.
Well, yeah.
That's an extra, okay, 2, 4, 13, perfect. All right.
1,
And-
2. I am such a, what's wrong with me? I shouldn't have left the house.
I think you're there.
How did you get down the canyon?
So 1,
That's
2,
what I wanna
4,
know.
13 should be it.
Okay,
You know,
I'm sorry, everybody.
Take one, don't take one off of that.
Yeah, they're just,
Welcome.
what's the third address? You have the third address of something.
10807.
So.
10807.
Share and let them kind of.
Yeah, we're sharing.
Maybe 6
We'll
hours.
share.
Yeah. And then what is this one? Is this another one?
And we can do them one away.
There's a 10807.
Okay.
Want to restart this?
Oh, that's so bad.
Steadily.
What's wrong with my head?
Is that what-
Not put any food.
Okay,
Yeah, there's, some songs that had some words and things that were for a group, so. Read,
so you all know how to start a CMA, choosing comps or whatever. Anyway, I just grabbed an MLS number because I don't believe there's a way you can start a template unless you've started a CMA, or if there is, I don't know what it is. And I poked around a lot yesterday in MLS and
Yes.
and refreshed some. So if you're starting a CMA and you have a previous listing number or it's currently listed, whatever, and you feel like that information is reliable, then go ahead and plug it in. So, and that happens from populate form. And I'm just going to put in this.
Should we all do the same one as you, just so we're all making the same adjustment?
Pardon?
Should we all do the same MLS number you're doing?
If
That's a
you
good idea.
like, yeah,
Because we got the,
okay. It's 1830629.
oh, three,
So this will pull up
So you're creating-
everything. This creates a square or so it will search everything in that city and it adjusts, it does the math automatically, 15% higher or lower on the square footage. And
It
it,
already does that?
yes, if you approach it this way.
Okay, which way did you approach it just now? Because I don't know how you did that.
Can we start over then? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sorry.
Right, yeah, how did you get to that?
We wanna know, I didn't know, I will start over.
okay, yes,
Just go to
Okay, if-
CMA.
create new
Okay, create new and then populate form.
and then populate
Oh,
form.
that's what I
And
meant.
then,
I believe that.
So if you have a tax ID
Okay.
or a previous MLS number, of course, if you use the tax ID, you're gonna want to check everything. You're gonna want to check everything on an MLS anyway. And make those changes as needed. So
Oh,
then
good, I'm glad. I
plop
did.
in your 1830629.
It's not going in.
83062.
Oh, so we can
Uh-huh.
start that at the very beginning rather
Yes.
than doing it at the end.
Oh, because I think
Yes.
I do this totally different.
Yeah.
So you populate
I did too, Mama.
the property first. You do this?
I do it a little
Exactly.
different,
All
but
the
this is,
comps.
this is kind of cool because it pulls the comps for you. I'm weird and I like to put my
Right, but it'll be
criteria in,
fun to play this way
Yeah.
too.
Right,
So
but
1830629.
this goes back and takes a snapshot of everything that is within that range. So it has prefigured 15% of the square footage. It's gone forward, I think 10 years and back 10 years.
So it's a
So
lot
it's
of-
bracketed the age.
So it's a lot of comps.
It's a lot of
So then we
comps.
want to further modify.
So then you have to modify more.
Okay.
So for instance, on this one, let's immediately, but it also puts in the style.
Oh.
That's
Okay.
not good.
That's not necessarily good. So first thing you want to do is change the statuses.
Oh.
And we've already talked about the,
How much of is it in that same city that MLS
Yes.
is? So it won't show here. I mean, it's showing 2-story on style, but it's not showing what city.
well, it shows the zip code. It does,
Zip code.
so
Yeah,
it
okay.
populates
Yeah, I've
the
never
zip
done
code.
it from this way, so, okay.
Yeah, it's just another way, because I think everybody, including myself, does it the other way. but here is a
No.
process.
Especially if you're in like a development.
Perhaps
that's
maybe just a little bit more
similar.
efficient. once you come.
Yeah,
Okay, so you're gonna put it so.
so
Like.
I always, and we talked about the fact that it's good to throw some actives under contracts, backups and solds. So you have to now, from this particular search, throw in your statuses. And now it takes it down to 80, and then let's put in days back 60. And then we'll get to a manageable number. You could now view those and start refining, but you can see here how it threw in the year built and the square footage.
Plus or minus 15%.
And it also threw in the bedrooms and baths. So it starts with the minimum, like 1 bedroom and bathroom. So you can begin, yeah, like I would
Like,
say, for
we
sure,
go
we only
back-
want. You can refine it here. But it's your very basic information that it populates it. So this one, I happen to know, is in the northwest quadrant
Wow, I've never ever used that quadrant.
or south, I'm sorry,
Ever.
southwest.
Southwest.
How do you know
I
that?
think that because I was playing with this MLS number yesterday.
I've never even like.
But I mean, we'll
I checked
change
everything
that
out.
year
I
built,
can't,
right?
Register.
Yeah, that's
half
houses
the
aren't
time
built
because
until like
like
2027.
the numbers in the city, so
just-
just like where does one end and the other one
Yeah.
start? I usually do radius search. 'cause I'm like,
So you can go up and go,
Which is still
okay,
fine.
oops, I only want American. What?
Oh, cause it for, it also.
You can just start
Yeah.
typing it. You don't have to scroll for that. anymore.
Yeah. Anyway, it didn't change anything, but you can, so it throws everything in and then you can start
So
becoming
you're
more
saying if your
specific.
zip code, your property's coming on the edge of a zip code, you maybe want one next to it, you could put a city in.
Yeah,
Like
Well-
Orem City with 097 and 058.
Right,
or you could do a radius search.
or you can,
Or you.
and from here, you can still do the radius search.
Right.
Yes,
'Cause you can just pull up the map, right?
right,
View map.
right. So now we're down to 17 or up to 17 still
Oh, I have something wrong, I have zero.
a lot,
You didn't know.
but obviously you can see that you're built, there is no such thing.
That's not gonna
Yeah,
affect
So-
it.
but it won't
Maybe
affect
we
it.
should go back in time
To
a
like
little more. Yeah.
2000 or
2012 or-
20, yeah, okay. So what about 2010? I mean,
Yeah, maybe just because
because we're only going from
it
2017.
didn't change anything for me to do that.
Oh,
But,
did it? No.
but also.
Oh, it didn't either.
This one happens to be a newer construction, and we don't need necessarily more
Comps.
comps
Yeah,
than we
already
have.
a lot. That's-
Okay,
yeah.
you're right, okay.
So, if I were to change anything on this, I might adjust the square footage up a little bit.
Less
What's
than
the square footage? of this
Yeah,
one?
what is the house?
24, 20?
It's
The
like
thing
this
is, you can't
mystery.
see.
I know, we don't know
You
anything
can't
about
see
that.
that.
They're self yet.
You know what? I didn't print the house off, so it's a,
2,500 square feet.
okay. Thank you.
2,500?
25, thank you.
If you go to
So-
30 days back,
Pardon?
does that have a finished basement?
No, there's no basement in this one,
Okay. so
Wow,
it's
it's 25 and it's only on the 211. Okay.
because because it's
If
two
it's out in the
story.
west, if it's southwest, then it's out by the lake. So no basements.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is in the southwest. Okay, so now let's
With the
view our
numbers.
results, even though that's a lot.
Make sure it's working.
Okay. This is
Um,
exciting, you guys. Are you guys
We
excited?
got that.
No, well, wait till it populates the CMA.
I love that part.
Okay. So,
There's a bunch of to be built. Can we? take
so,
those out?
yeah,
This one is.
Yeah, how do we, let's
So-
take those down.
I would
Oh, it
immediately take,
Oh, the one where The CMA is a to be built house?
Oh, yeah, do we want to remove
It is an active, but I don't, it's under construction.
So I think.
So the one that
Under
is to be built,
Do you see it?
that would be the advantage of searching it from a main page, because you can pull those out.
Yeah, they have that option. right here.
Yeah,
Well, couldn't you
Well,
do
you
that
could
too
just-
under
yeah.
refine,
What year
refine
is the-
search? Can't
the
you
font?
do?
Oh, yeah.
You built 2022 or 2021.
Oh, I
I guess
see.
2022.
That's
That's like
like-
every prompt though, when you do that.
22, let's
Yeah,
see.
take it down to 3.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh, no, I'm
mine
still,
stayed at
I'm
17.
still at 17.
When I did 2021, it took it down to.
2022
will still include everything that's.
Oh, that takes it.
Yeah, mine too.
okay.
Probably just slightly different.
Interesting. But isn't there one on here we can
Did you-
take out under
Did you
built?
adjust the
We just
square
have
footage?
already built.
Yeah.
Not
Oh, they don't have that. They don't have that.
No, they don't have that criteria
Two of them are
here.
Okay.
Yeah, I only got one.
It really comes on.
Yeah.
But in this case, probably new construction are okay because it's a pretty new house, right?
Well, and if they are under construction, they're changing the price pretty regularly.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah. That's a good.
So
point.
I think it's okay to use something that's currently under
For a super
construction,
new house.
but to be built, those prices are
And you don't know what they put in for
right.
options and stuff. So it doesn't
Necessarily.
really work.
Yeah.
I think.
What'd
Um,
you do to change it to 13?
I don't know.
I'm at
Pardon?
13 as well.
What'd you do to
I'll
make
go
it
back to
13?
refine.
So you just changed the year, I changed
Yeah.
the year. Cause I changed it to 2021 and then it took me down to only one listing.
Yeah.
I changed it back to 2027 and it took me to 13.
Do you have the square
I
footage
have
at
13.
23 minimum?
23 to 20.
Oh, okay, you changed
Yeah.
the square.
So that would be the proposed to be built and those under construction.
Okay,
So you get
13.
rid of the to be built,
Okay.
to be
I'm happy.
This is a pretty good amount of,
finished.
the comps are all right, real similar though. so it's
Sure,
good.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like, I think that's. seems we got-
Sorry.
okay, so
Say it
let's,
again, Eric, Tell me about the to be built and the.
Well, he was coming out that, say again what your problem was.
So no, so when I switched the year, like Alex was saying, I switched to 2021.
Oh,
It only
that's
took
when
me
you-
down to one listing. But then I switched it back to 2027 and it took me back to 13.
Okay.
And I think it's what, like Eric was saying, it's the ones to be built that are adding to it.
Oh, okay.
So. if-
Well, it's
if
the
they're
under
under
construction.
keep 'em.
Yeah,
If they're to be built.
Yeah.
Because the price is really not fixed on that.
okay, so are we then now eliminating the ones?
so
that
we're
were
going
just-
to, let's now look at a map and make sure that we're where we want to be.
Whoa.
Okay,
Wait, so you did that, you didn't go view map on the left? What did you just do?
okay, so
The
I
view map would be
did
the
under
big
reports,
changes.
I went map report.
Oh, okay,
Under reports.
okay, under, so
So
view
under,
results,
well, view results first
click
Oh.
everything, and
and then
then
click everything
okay. Oh,
map report.
and then.
This is fun.
map.
It's like doing it, so,
It's like
Yeah.
totally
Reverse.
backwards,
I like
right?
CMAs, they're like puzzles.
I do it.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Different spot.
So you can see we've got a chunk over here on the east side.
I only have the ones by the
Of-
lake.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, you do.
You're good.
Okay.
We're the same.
so it would be, so you can pop on these and see this subdivision has
They're the
a
sold.
couple
Those are all
higher
sold.
priced ones. So immediately this one is so high.
Yeah, but this one.
We don't know what that's
Oh, yeah,
Same
which
as
is the
this.
subject property.
The house is right next to the bottom, the one on the bottom left. That one, that's where, that's like exactly where the house is, the subject property.
Oh, that's, why wouldn't it have a different color? Okay, but
I
that's for
don't think that
sale.
is the actual.
No, it
No.
isn't. It's 1830629. That's the MLS we put in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that one's the,
Okay, so that is that's our subject.
Okay.
So, we still have quite a few. I'm gonna maybe go back and change it to 45 days.
so did you go back to refine search?
Uh-huh. And view
That's
those
when you get down to 10.
10.
Your deed is a good data.
I know, I,
That's
believe-
an outlier maybe.
okay, that's
To be
the,
built.
that first one is the to be built.
So we don't
So
want
that
one.
one's gonna go bye-bye. So now we're down to 9. And one of these is the subject, so we have 8. And 1, 2,
2 under
3.
contract,
So a couple under contract.
5 sold.
Yeah. So that's
Wait, which one was it to be built?
that first
The
one
lower one.
at 569.
Okay.
Which makes sense, because that's why it's so low there. They're
Yeah.
trying to get people in.
Yeah.
So they're gonna
And,
charge
and the
you.
second one is too, it's the same
It's-
picture. The second one has the same
Right.
exact picture.
I
Are you
think
taking that
it's
one off
just-
too?
Oh, so both of those 2 under 6 are just to be built advertisements. basically.
Well,
But one's
yeah,
under
but one's under
Oh,
contract,
that's under construction.
Oh, so you're gonna use that
under,
as a
constr-
con-
under
Okay.
construction.
no, it's under
Well-
contract, not under construction.
Well, it is both.
Right, okay. I just.
It-
You
Yes,
see.
it's, but
So
if
do
you
take that
click
one out
on it,
too, or-
so most of these are under construction.
Which is hard, because you know that probably when they close, the price is gonna be higher.
Yeah.
because
Right.
Yeah,
But since the subject.
But
is in the same
some-
boat,
right.
comparable.
Yeah,
But some
that
have
makes
closed.
Or it could be way lower because they contracted it at a much lower price than what
Yeah,
it's worth a
that's
year
true.
later.
That's true.
So you have to, so somebody's contracted that price.
Yeah.
So it
You
is
need the rest of
nice.
the story, so you know what you're doing.
I have, that's when you call them, that's when you call them.
So,
Now we know.
but you can look at some of these that have sold that are in the same neighborhood, right?
Right.
And look at their history. To see like what they were originally
Oh,
listed for,
That's a
although
good
this one was not, they
it's
just kind
sold
of,
for the same.
they
Put it
just
on
threw
for
it
a
in
comp.
as a comp,
Mhm.
so. But it shows you what the sold price is, so they may have started with a lower base price, but this is what it sold at. So I would probably also maybe get rid of this,
The second one.
the second one,
Because,
just because
Way
it's
lower than
artificially low,
oh, I see.
the outright.
and it is under contract.
Here's one that was under contract for 665 and it sold for 668. So
Okay,
it sold for higher.
It's actually good if they put them at the end. Maybe
Yeah.
some actual-
so now let's pop to the CMA, because this is really the part that we were most interested in.
Oh, yeah, we gotta figure out our.
Okay, so if you look, I cleaned mine up a little bit yesterday, because I had maybe 20 different templates for different things. But if you're just looking to start a regular template, and I don't know, as you guys, yours will all look different, but you can see
Maybe like the sample
the
template.
one that the MLS throws in there for us is a sample template.
They don't give us numbers anymore, though,
No, they don't give us any numbers.
which is good. That's why we're gonna do. this.
Yeah.
We're gonna save up.
So go ahead and start with, does anybody have any preset ones?
I do, but I would like to build in. I would like
Okay.
to build in-
I have the updated CMA 2022 that you helped me make.
Okay,
I only have the simple template.
I saw.
okay, so
Yeah,
let's start with
mhm.
sample template, and it will put in all of the criteria that are typically found on here, on an appraisal. What we don't have are any adjustment.
What's the MLS number again, so we can like populate it?
Yeah, why wouldn't that
Okay.
pull that out again?
Yeah,
0629.
1830622.
and it will
629.
pull it
I'm dyslexic.
from, because it was one of the search items, it will pull it over and now eliminate it from our list out to the side.
Oh, it's more than.
Yeah.
183.
1830629.
Is removing it from the rest of the list new? Because I felt like I had to do that manually in the past. No?
Well, in this particular one, it will,
Okay.
but
Or
we had
sometimes
used that as our. It's not very often that you're going to use an active property to start your CMA. Well, maybe sometimes,
Yeah, if
If-
you're representing a buyer and they. want-
yeah, or if,
That's what I need
you
to
know,
do.
anyway. So,
But you're looking at this more from a listing standpoint of a home. an
Right.
existing home.
right. So let's, as you go to adjustment factors, do any of you have adjustment factors set up beyond what's available?
I think I have one where I added the walkout basement, and busy street. I was trying to compare with the house, other thing I was thinking was on a busy street.
So like yesterday, I added solar.
What else do you have? Mine has mother-in-law apartment and social concession.
My own has sold concessions.
Okay,
Yeah, so
so these are all factors that I guess I've added over time. That that we would then assign values to. So,
Can I
if-
do that?
yeah, yeah. So if you want to create one, like for instance, I would create a condition one if you don't already. And to do that, you hit create custom factor and then name it whatever you want.
What you name that?
condition, right?
Okay.
Condition or whatever. And then you would hit add, and then it would make it,
Populates on the other side.
Yeah, and then you.
then you'll find it, and it makes it, I think it puts it in alphabetical. Does it?
Mine on the bottom.
How come mine went,
Mine went to the
how
other
come mine
side.
went negative on the other side?
Okay, if you, so that now is going to put that, that is now gonna put that into your CMA.
Oh, got it.
So the
Yeah.
negative buttons.
If you were to hit the minus, it would move it back to the other side and then save that as an adjustment factor that you could have forever.
Which we want to do.
Yeah.
I want to
How do I
hit
move
that.
it to the other side?
I didn't go
Hit
to
the,
other
there's
side.
a little red dot
You-
that
you
says
have to-
minus,
You have to create it and add it to your form first, or else it won't save.
right? Another one that is typical is maybe view, if you were doing a
Yeah.
view lot rather than another. If you're getting really, so did you say mother-in-law apartment is on there?
I have it.
Okay.
I think I maybe added it.
Yeah, I would put a mother-in-law because a lot of them have them. They do add value.
Fenced yard is one I have.
Yeah, fencing, RV parking.
So with mother-in-law apartment, you designate that other than a basement kitchen. It's all
Well,
becoming in.
you could put
Does it have-
second kitchen. You could call it whatever you wanted.
Well, does it have to be mother-in-law apartment to actually give it credit for that? If it's a second kitchen downstairs with bedrooms.
I would give that value. Mhm.
But you'd call
Like
it something different.
If I had a second kitchen but no separate entrance, then I would give that a different value. than
Exactly.
second
Right.
kitchen
So I'm
with
just
a
wondering how you
separate.
designate a value for each,
Well,
because a lot of them will have that second kitchen.
right,
Even if I don't want it on
Yeah.
there, I
So
can
separate
take
entrances,
that
I
off.
think, a good way.
uh-huh. If it can be
Yes.
cordoned off, you know.
Now
Yeah.
it's going to be.
Anyway, so on this particular one, let's just add condition, put that over. And
So if I don't have that in my list, I just add it the way you showed.
you
us.
just start creating a custom factor. And the only reason I don't think we'll be using the condition adjustment,
It's their own.
yeah,
Okay, and this one I don't-
but let's also maybe make one for sold concessions. But you can just continue to add them as you see that you're needing factors for most of your listing presentations. Yeah, so let's do the sold concessions. Okay, and then when we're done, you can see that they threw them in there. Oh, but this already had concessions.
It was already on that.
Yeah.
It's already on that thing.
So if you don't want to include it, then you just,
Yeah, first you go in there, you want it.
yeah.
She's trying to add full concession. Yeah, so click that if you want that.
Oh.
And then done.
But you wouldn't necessarily, because there was already a spot for it. I forgot
So
about
that
that.
took the price down. On the left side.
Okay, I got rid of that because it's already up here. And if you want to change the format of these, let's say we wanted condition up. Whoop. No. Let's see, I did rearrange one yesterday. How do you do that?
Maybe do one that's not highlighted like acre,
What?
maybe
Yeah, do a
highlight,
different one.
not one that's highlighted, just one that's there. And change
I,
that.
you can't.
Still not working.
I won't do it unless it's highlighted.
Anyway, there, you can pull it up if you want a different order. Okay. So now,
Am I still?
you want to now create a new template. Let's say you go, okay, I'm really often going to adjust for condition, or I'm really often going to adjust for a landscape yard or an RV parking. And these are the things that I like to do routinely. And you feel like you're always working in one area. Go ahead and establish it as like my basic template. So you want to now create a new template. And sorry.
How do you get?
I need to go back. Okay, so if you've added anything or added adjustment values,
Okay, then would we save it? And
then you would create a new template. Move, that's not right. I'm sorry. This is acting differently than it did yesterday. Let's go ahead and put some adjustments in, first of all.
In the,
That'll be helpful.
Yeah. we can
In
get
the
some
sample?
standard.
In the
standard
sample one, yeah. So, for instance, does everybody have the 16 or 1764 West 250 North Mapleton one? Because these are not adjusting at all currently. So for a,
Are these the ones? Are these different? Or no, those are
No.
three different.
does everybody have that one?
1764?
Yes. You can see that the first sold comp has 3 bedrooms. And the subject has 4. And the subject has 2.5 bath. And the comp only has 2. So the differences there are the 1 extra bedroom and the extra half bath. He's made an adjustment of 5,000. So you're probably going, okay, well, what's what there?
5,000 seems like a lot.
Well, it's
Well,
also
and a
2 bedrooms. It's also
2 bedrooms?
another bedroom. Yeah.
There is an additional bedroom, yeah. So so I went over to one of the other comps to kind of get a feel to see, and there's one that has 4 bedrooms, similar to the subject, but 3 baths, 3 full baths. And that adjustment is 5,000. I believe a correct adjustment for a half bath is 3,500. So you plug a number in there. And for every bedroom, it's usually, depending on the age of the house, 1,000 to 2,000. So in this case, you can choose a number. Let's just say that every bedroom is worth 1,500. A full bath, I wish we had, is the difference between an extra bath and not
It's 5,000.
is 5,000. So actually, I think based on what he's giving here, I think he's giving 2,000 for a bedroom and 3,000 for a half bath.
Interesting.
And only
Which is-
5,000 for a full bath.
Well, based on this
Based on
other
that.
comp
Okay.
here, personally, I would have given it more. I would have gone 7,500. But since we're
Okay,
looking
so
at
that's
an
your
appraisal, let's use what they've got. If anybody, Eric, if you can, and
So
can
the
see
three-quarter
any
bath
other,
would Be like 4,000.
pardon?
The 3/4 bath would be close to 4,000 then. It's like
Yeah,
split them into
That's
three.
the hard thing.
Oh, I
Every
don't know, I
figure
wouldn't do-
says it different.
I would do 3/4 bath. Oh, unless I can't see this appraisal, but I would do it the same as a full bath. wouldn't I?
well, if you're building, they charge as much for a 3/4 as they do for a full.
Oh.
I mean,
I
A
mean,
master will have just a shower and not a tub, and it's a
Yeah.
full bath.
So unless you have if you've got a bath that has a separate, garden tub or soaker tub, and then a separate shower, it's gonna be more. But for just the difference between a shower versus a built-in tub with a shower head, that's a combo.
And is there a difference if the shower is full tile instead of just a?
That would go under.
Well,
addition,
a
wouldn't it?
full tile shower costs as much as a separate
More.
tub. Yeah, more actually.
So a lot of the builders are just pushing those pre-formed units in there and not tiling. So
Uh-huh.
would you add more if it was tiled? I thought
I-
they knew it was.
Well,
Not in
then
like a
it
basic.
depends, now you're gonna be, so we're just trying to set up a basic
Plugging
template
hers to
to
the-
save our work and to have a basic CMA. And then as you're looking at different, like if you went, okay, custom homes, I would make a different template for custom homes.
Yes. in the first
Because-
one.
So
Yeah,
under this
And then-
3/4,
and
we
then-
would just do the 5,000 again,
Rather
because it's a still
I
full
would.
service bath.
And rather than try to get an adjustment on automatically building for every single thing, you can actually do that once you get into the CMA itself, if you don't have one, like, for example, tile as opposed to
yeah.
rebuild.
That would go under
Yeah.
upgrades or
But we're
additions or
just,
something.
but right now,
you
we're
can
just setting a very basic template.
And that's what I'm saying, just the basics. You don't know the
Yes.
specifics.
Yeah.
Okay,
So what it did before also was give us a price per square foot, which now, based on the comps you chose, now it does not. Which, what? I know, they're less service, more fees. That's just,
So this one has 219.81 price per square foot.
so who has some math ability quickly?
I have a calculator.
Okay, so the difference between 2,097 square feet and 1923,
174.
okay, and now divide 15,660 by 174.
15,660.
That's the full.
90?
90.
Okay. So this property, this particular one
$90 per square foot.
is $90 a square foot.
What?
Wow.
Did I do that wrong?
That's not right.
What?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah. No.
Unless it's a foreclosure.
Yeah, like, we're not at 90 per square foot.
Yeah.
Or at 200.
Oh, but you're also adjusting separately for bedrooms, baths.
Oh.
Well, and if you look at the MLS calculation, it takes the entire price and divides it by the square footage.
By the total
So,
square footage.
so it's factoring in the land cost, all of those things, which you hear, which on a,
Oh, so this is.
On a
just the
CM.
building.
this is just for the building itself.
Oh, because we're
Above-
already counting for the bathrooms.
Yes, so we're just talking the actual square footage cost
A
only.
little harder, but it's much more.
It's more correct. That's why you'll see, like on a Rambler without a basement, a little older home, maybe in Provo over by the university. Those,
400
Without-
per square foot.
right. And where the actual cost of the structure itself is going to be very, very different. So, let's say on these, let's go 85, because I think 85 is pretty correct for a 85 to 90 for a basic home.
So but the top story doesn't have a kitchen or anything like that. So is the top story square footage less than the main floor square footage because it has the kitchen and all of that? Or is it
No,
$85?
it used to be that you would,
Because this doesn't have any adjustments for a kitchen,
well, because every house is gonna have a
right?
kitchen.
But I'm just, no, but you know what I'm
But
saying?
It used to be in the old days that the cost of a main floor square footage was considerably more than above, like a second floor. But anymore, builders don't calculate it that way because the cost of construction is so high.
We just do
And
80
lumber.
85, no matter what. floor
And
it
I
is.
would go above grade 85. Now, below grade, if we were working with a basement, below grade, on a typical basement, let's say you're working with a home built in the 80s and it has a basement with decent access, windows, not walkout. The most a below grade should ever comp out is 50% of the above grade square foot price.
42.5.
But that one would be more of a walkout basement. Usually a regular basement would be anywhere between 25 to 50% of your above grade cost. Does that make sense? Am I saying that okay?
Unfinished or finished?
Unfinished.
Unfinished.
So just the fact that you've got, and then you add the finish amount. So for instance, on this one, let's pretend,
Yeah, because we want to create the template, so I
Okay.
want those numbers in there.
I would say, so if we gave above grade 85, which is an average home, and this had a basement, it would be, well, no more than 50%, but more than 25. Because 25 would be maybe an old 1940s home, 40s, 50s, where those ceilings are a little lower, they're not great.
So
So,
these new constructions, if they
so
have a
what's-
basement, are all going to be stubbed out.
so
They've got
what's-
all the utilities in there.
but so this one will just say it's not a walkout, which you would give if it were a really nice basement with daylight walkout, then I would say you could give it 50%. Let's give this one 35%, because that's a nice average.
Do we put the percent?
So what would 35% of 85?
Be $30.
Thank you.
So I thought you said 42.5 for a really, really nice one, and then you said 50. So,
42.5, 50%.
oh, that person. Oh, got it.
Okay,
Okay.
and then you would add your finish. And the finish is usually about half again what your price is. So that would be 15,
Because that would put it at 45.
yes.
Because it, okay, so then you're.
So you give it value for just being a basement, and then you give it value for its finished amount.
And that's just $14.
Okay, let's see what adjustment he's given for age. He's giving $1,000 for every year. And this home is old. 20 years old. That's about right. The older you get, oops, sorry, wrong spot,
Under your bill, right?
under your bill. But for a new construction like this, you're probably more like 1,500. But if you're talking a home built in the 70s, 80s, you're probably $1,000 a year depreciation. If you get older homes, it becomes less. If you're talking a home built in the like 1920s or 10s, it's really only going to be about $100 a year. But then if it's been remodeled, you would factor that into conditions. That's where I would
So
factor
what
it in.
point do you start decreasing what you're giving? So if you're doing $1,000 a year, what point does it just go down a little bit? It's not.
Yeah,
So like in the 80s, it would be,
like 750.
okay.
So this one should really, at this age,
That's what we would
at
change.
2022,
So we're
would
doing
be
this template,
1,500.
that would be something we would
Yeah.
manually change.
now a garage. Let's see what they've got for garage. Oh, I need my glasses.
15,000 from a 2 to a 3,
Is that what he's got?
from subject 3 to subject 4.
Okay. That's right. I think we talked about this
I
a
think
while
you've
back.
given us that before.
Yeah.
30,000.
Yeah. So
Yeah, there's only one comp that goes from a 2 to a 3 car garage, and it's
Okay.
15,000.
and acreage. So the acreage is also going to depend on where the property is located.
Alpine versus.
Alpine versus Eagle Mountain, right? Yeah.
Right.
So the way you would figure that is you need to go and establish what the price for an average lot is, calculate it into an acreage. So let's say an average lot is what? Quarter acre.
Size, or you're talking price?
Well, size and price. An average lot, has anybody sold a lot out in Eagle Mountain or Lehigh recently? Or does anybody have that magic number for what a builder is charging
Right now,
right now? Quarter acre,
Right by the lake, I would say 175 or something.
175?
No, I mean, I'm just guessing, but I mean, that area isn't fabulous.
No,
But like some lots
Or
are
is
going
that-
for, 200, 300, 400,
yeah,
But like new builders are different because they're putting their costs differently. And they're
And
like,
they're
the
doing
lot
premiums
premium's
that-
only 52.
yeah, they're
Other
adding
ones, their
premiums
lot
onto
premiums
it.
are like
Right.
170, so I
I'd-
wouldn't go off new builds. Because each builder throws them differently.
Yeah.
so I would say if you're looking at an acre size lot, you would probably figure
What's the acreage on this?
500,000. And that's,
500.
that's low, I realize.
And where's this one?
So
In American form.
I would just,
Oh, is
this
not the one
property's
by
in
the lake
American.
still?
Oh,
Yeah,
Okay,
this
see, I
is.
don't have this one in front of me, so I don't.
Okay.
know what's happening.
So if
No,
you're
we don't have that.
figuring a lot,
These are just.
I mean,
appraisals
an
for-
acre of land is
Oh,
worth
okay.
500,000. Right?
Yeah,
Unless you're in Walsburg.
Well, yeah. And then there's this crazy guy who's,
We were negotiating on a subdivision to be finished at 500,000 for a 5 acre lot with water. And then he hires an agent. He calls me, she said, your client willing to still study down, but we pay $1 million for that now.
we're like, well, where are you getting your comps?
Yeah.
Oh, in Midway. I'm like, not the same.
Good way.
So I said, well, as a resident of Walsburg, we really hope you sell it.
True. That would.
Good luck. I'm really excited for you. I'm rooting for you.
Where does it show the acreage?
So
on this?
500,000 divided by 43560, which is the square footage, right?
Per square foot, yes.
Per square foot. So that's, 1150 a square foot. So instead, so down here in acreage, and again, this will change based on where you are, but let's put in 500,000 because it's going to calculate.
0.17 of that.
And as I look at the adjustments across this page,
These ones are all pretty close.
yeah. So the fact that it's adjusting a 0.19 to the subject of 0.17 for 10,000 seems heavy to me, right? So
Let me split this into 2 weeks. Okay, so we're,
real quick, do you guys, are you gonna go physically start our meeting or our meeting in about 15 minutes? Does everyone have time for that?
I'll wrap up in about 15.
Yes.
Yeah, me and I.
Give us 15.
Okay, so 15 minutes, we'll start our meeting in that room, okay?
Well, you can do it here.
Oh, either way,
I don't want to kick you guys.
so you switched it to 250,000.
So I switched because the adjustment that was happening there seemed really heavy for
Yeah.
0.02. So I cut it in half. 5,000, it still seems a little high to me, but you can just adjust that. Let's just, since we're setting up a template, I'm gonna say typically 250,000 for an acre is gonna be a better adjustment.
Unless it's really.
Unless it's like
Standard
Alpine
carport number you
Or
use?
Midway.
Pardon?
Standard carport number that you use.
A standard carport would be 5,000 per space.
And is there one for total square foot? There's,
No,
because
because,
it's adjusting all the others.
because you're adjusting
You're
individually.
breaking it all down.
Yeah. So you want to make sure that you don't double
Double whammy.
whammy it,
I see. Because we're.
because you're pulling
Because we have a
everything
value
off.
for each layer,
Right,
then it's gonna, we're not gonna also adjust for the total.
right.
The collection, the total of those each level will end up being the total square footage.
So let's, I still want to add the adjustment factor of condition.
Yeah, so so we're gonna add adjustment factor. Sold concessions? No.
No condition. Just because I think it's,
I think
It's
it's important
one
on the
that's-
brand new, because that's the only time you're gonna get that 5 on the appraisal.
right. So, and I usually go because on an appraisal, they go 1 to 5. 5 is, and I can send this over, I'll send this over to you. And there's also quality of construction that you'll see on an appraisal. So I'll send over those criteria that they use on an appraisal. And it's just depending on the size of the home. If you were looking at a home that was, say, 5 years old and needing new carpet and paint, but the kitchen cabinets and the countertops and things were fine, then your condition adjustment compared to a new construction would probably be 10,000 per category. Maybe 15 on a custom home or something really upscale. Like, for instance, we've got one that we're listing and it's beat up. And they're like, is there anything we can do to make this more sellable? And I'm like, no, because your kitchen has to be totally revamped and it's a little U shape. And it really could be bumped out into where the formal dining room is because nobody uses those anymore. So we're like, no, but all of the sold comps that we're using, all those kitchens have been updated and they're beautiful.
It's in
So-
a really, really good neighborhood.
Yeah, so
It's
for
the
every
original home built in 95.
condition level, I was adjusting 50,000.
Oh, wow.
For every condition level. So we're gonna put.
But
this
so it
condition-
just depends.
It's a high-end neighborhood, high-end homes,
Then you're not gonna
Right.
use it.
And
'cause
you're
and
talking,
big adjustments.
and that you're talking the things that you're going to have to adjust to make it similar to the comps. So you're gonna have to look at your comps here on these. But let's say on this
And they're all
particular one,
2022, so they're all condition 5s.
yeah, but let's just say normally we would put in a $10,000, just because we're establishing a template.
So we
That's
can do that.
100,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
10,000.
So 100.
Okay,
It's a good thing she's got you to keep her in line.
so if you were adjusting for condition, you would assign, let's say the subject's a 4, and all the rest of these were 5. You'd put a 5 in there, and then you can see how it fixes that
And that's the price per condition.
per
number
condition
level.
category
Okay.
level.
And it's
Yeah.
only 1 to 5 conditions.
Well,
How
that's,
high is it?
that's what I use. That's what appraisers use.
Okay.
Or most homes are
Yeah.
3s and 4s.
Okay,
3s. Most homes are 3s, right?
most homes are 3s.
That's
Yeah,
supposed to be the average.
Yeah.
brand new construction is a 5.
So are we putting 5s in those or leaving that alone?
No,
because
we're
they're all the
just, we're
same?
not gonna adjust for condition, but
Okay, 'cause
just because we're setting up a template. Anyway, use these appraisals and
Get your copies.
pare
Well, I
down.
think everybody
And
knows
then
this,
see
but
what,
here-
you can see how we made those adjustments and how we figured it, what he's using.
Mhm.
So that's how you would establish. And if you're really uncertain for a property, call a lender, call your favorite appraiser, ask them. They'll probably give you that information or they can pull from it.
Well, that was-
Anyway.
That was
How do we
really
save
good.
this?
How do we say?
Okay, so now
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say- Yeah.
you want,
Say it.
you want to create a new one.
Makes me nervous.
All right.
Hold on.
Question.
Oh,
We
those are all.
lost
oh,
it,
there
you're
we
in
are.
trouble.
They're all there.
I saved the template, so I have. I just
But
do.
how do I save it? Oh, save up here? Save
Yes.
it.
Well, yeah. I'm going through and I was building a template.
So how did
This might be a really good time to mention that we are actually recording this and it will go on our Southern Utah YouTube website, and I'll post the access. Problem is, if you try to scan it or just look it up, because it says real estate in it.
Well, it
YouTube
named
channels
it.
will come up.
I wanted
What
chapters. If you put in.
What-
So you gotta
So
create
I'll give you a link to our YouTube page and then you can just.
How do I
if you have
know
any
how to
questions.
find it?
it. Add all of the-
I said save, right?
Oh, you didn't add it. I'm gonna add all of this.
What do you mean?
Well, you have to pull all of those.
All over into here?
Yeah.
You can remove them.
These are the effective
Edit.
your CMA.
Okay, so here's a,
Close, close.
I'm sorry,
Thank you.
I kind of screwed you up a little bit
Oh,
here.
wait, edit, it says edit name now, but I don't.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to report. Okay, so here we are. It got rid of all of our adjustment things. But if you go from your sample template, edit,
Oh, and then you put the value
then
there.
throw the values in. So we are going, did we say 2,000? And a full bath is 75, did we, or no, we said 5.
Oh, so now I gotta pull them all over?
And
Robin,
We're just gonna put it in.
there's a screenshot.
thank you.
Do you want me to text that to you?
Well, we're just gonna fill it
I'm
in right
just
now.
gonna do it real quick.
So I'm leaving my sure template, because we made it here.
So I did, yeah, so it was 5,000.
So 2,000,
Okay,
I just. put-
3,000,
And then you adjust.
and then you guys can go in and change these when you,
85, oops,
it's just because you're starting.
There was actually 0 on.
85,
Yeah.
Vegetables is 2,000.
85, yes,
That's what happened.
85.
There we go.
These values are a little high, like when I run console, when I just ran on, I'm about 200,000 higher than where we should be,
Oh, okay,
so we might need to.
oh, okay.
You're
This is
fine.
a start, and then we can figure out what.
Yeah.
So if anyone goes to that webinar at 1, and please tell us what adjustments they have for their default, because that's gonna be good to see where we might be.
Off a
putting it.
tiny bit,
Yeah,
because we are extrapolating here based on these particular properties.
Do sold concessions have a value or we're just pretty,
No,
pretty
because
those
there's
in?
already concessions.
Well,
built
if there
into the
were
default.
any,
How am I saying
and then pull condition over,
So I don't need that one.
and that's 10,000.
And we're not doing the total square foot,
Yes.
right? So that's.
Yeah.
Okay,
Basement
what did you
and
put your
chicken.
basement percent finish?
15.
15,
And then
Thank
basic
you.
square footage.
For a full bath.
And the basic square footage was
30.
And then carport we did 5.
Well,
You're gonna still use numbers.
I think
Okay.
it's the value of having it versus not having it either. Like if you were in an older house and you can't even figure out how to put it in there. And there's, you know what I mean? But she's always done 6,500 and she said
85.
for a pull back.
And again, this is your typical new construction.
All right, well, we have, did someone save all this, because mine didn't save this. Okay, we
How
can,
do I
we'll
say
go in
it?
and.
So now I hit save. I hit save.
What's the?
Acres, acreage is, we did 250, and then condition. So if you're making this your basic template, pull the condition over and put that number in. And then name it whatever you feel is appropriate.
So if you go back to-
I want to readjust it for condition, 10,000.
Can, yeah,
Per level, so it's a condition 5 is 4.
Total square
10,000.
Oh.
Mine are like.
87. Okay, you don't make one for total.
I think only 15.
Garage
I
sale.
think it was a line, but-
Use level 154. By
3/4 bath is 5,000 to do, right?
that was 3. Another one.
I agree.
No, I think we keep like
Wanna do that instead?
half bath is 3, right?
And so this automatically defaulted to new factors. You can edit the adjustment name.
And then how do we save it? I tried to put this save,
So on top,
Up there, save.
save
Yeah.
as,
mine just says save.
I don't see a save.
Oh,
I'd say the
Okay,
adjustment
new
name.
factors. And set as the default adjustments. That's what you want to do, is hit your.
Oh, check
Oh, you do want to do that?
that box.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
I didn't check that.
Okay, that's the key, is hit the
Wait,
save the default adjustments.
there's just a drop down menu at the top of your CMA.
Just like you use it.
Select what you made. So it's not
Or presented
like
in-
an extra, like a second.
Because
At the end of life, if we don't-
you wouldn't always want to go to that.
Okay, we'll excuse everybody for.
That was
the,
awesome. Always, always, always.
I took a call and then I got.
Got enough room in there?
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
we'll
but
grab a couple of chairs out of here.
but this
Grab 'em.
makes so much sense. I didn't know how to figure those and how do you get, you know, so that-
That, okay, good.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what.
And I think we pulled one of my.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Robyn.
Yeah. And then I went to KW with them, and then I came back after I left.
Okay.
It's nice to meet you.
What is your name?
Brittany Reed.
Oh, Brittany,
Yeah.
sorry.
My hair's curly, so no.
Right, yeah, your hair is totally different.
Girl, what'd you do? Your hair.
This is how it should be. I straighten it a lot.
I would die for that, that curl.
Something that.
Curl is in now, though.
Thank you.
You bet, thank
Here
you.
you go.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
Rollers.
Okay, we're ending.
That was awesome.
Are we done?
Yeah.
There we go.